Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Box Engineer. So, I wanted to announce something that I think will be an interesting project to try out. After Luigi's Mansion 3, I wanted to also get back to the technical videos. Again, I want to have a variety, and I think it'd be useful to start a new YouTube course. YouTube added a new feature on their site where you can create courses, and I want to try and see what this is like. So I'm gonna make this first introduction video, and this will be called The Practical Side of Electronics. So I've come across instances where college work can be a little bit too abstract. Sure, you may be told theory, but how do you connect it to like a real world circuit? How do you design something from the ground up? What kinds of things do you need to consider? How do you build something so it doesn't blow up? What kind of limitations are there? Have you considered that there's size limitations? How can you tell whether something has an absolute limit or maximum limit in terms of ratings? A lot of you already know this, but it can be difficult to wrap your heads around this topic because of the layers of abstraction required. So, I can show you what it takes to understand the connection between a diagram and a real-world example. Understand that I don't always have perfect understanding either. I still learn things every single day with my job. I want to lean away from complicated theory and focus on the details you may not have been aware of when working with a breadboard or a printed circuit board or anything else that you might run across. I also want you to try to interpret datasheets for yourself. Datasheets are critical to understand how a pre-made device works. We can also briefly discuss why you would want to consider integrated circuits rather than trying to build everything from scratch when you are learning. Yes, we will go over some of the analysis techniques and simple equations used to solve a circuit, but nothing too overly complicated. These sometimes are required in a pinch when datasheets give recommendations on some kind of circuit setup. For now, I will have to limit myself to using a circuit simulation program called LT-Spice for most of my videos. I don't currently have the luxury of buying components to show you how to set these up. I can at least find pictures of prototyping boards and explain how they're laid out. I really want you to be able to translate between a diagram and a physical circuit in front of you. I'll try to include other videos that I've already made in this series to add to your understanding. I also want to add quizzes and give you topics to explore. The first video I want to cover is how to tackle basic circuit equations and analysis. After I explain that, we can move on to shortcuts for writing simpler equations that won't take as many variables to deal with. So, I hope that you'll join me. This will be kind of a different approach to teaching. Sometimes I think it is better to be like a jack of all trades kind of person rather than be ultra specific in certain areas. Now, not saying that specialists are bad in any way. It's just that sometimes it's best to have like a collection of knowledge from different areas to kind of give you an idea of what is required. And having a mechanical background actually does help a lot with certain topics in electronics. People don't realize that there's a lot of different physical things that go into play when you design a circuit. Everything has limitations, and most of electronics theory is dealing with ideal components where everything's 100% perfect. That's not really how how real world implementation works. So, I hope that this will be worthwhile. I will see you in the first video. Feel free to ask questions, like, comment, subscribe, and remember, think outside the box and stay wise. See ya.